Okay. So school, if you can introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about Sunday School Co. and what you're gonna teach us today.
What's going on, y'all? I am School, like she said, engineer, producer, songwriter. I'm from Connecticut, but currently living in LA. Um, Let me know if everybody can hear me too. Um, Sunday School Co. started as a songwriting collective about a year ago. A few friends, we met up, had a writing session, and it became like a thing. It was like everybody was like, "Yo, this is dope. Like, we should do this more often." And it happened to be on Sunday. And Sunday School was a name that I always thought of. I just didn't know what it was going to be. And we from September to March before COVID really hit us. We met every Sunday except during the holiday. We met every Sunday. We created records for sync opportunity, independent artist placement, major artist placement, anything you could think of. We were just creating records, any briefs or opportunities that came our way. And during because of quarantine, it slowed down. So over these past few months, I've been figuring out how to rebrand it and bring it back and make it more available for everybody because it was here in LA. So we're going to be launching it virtually probably the top of the year. Right now, we're working on all the behind the scenes and logistics for it. And you'll be able to join writing camps. You'll be able to send us records for a sync opportunity. Anything, any type of briefs we get that we're looking for, we'll let our members know, and you'll have access to them, and you'll be able to send the songs. I'm not sure if anybody here is familiar with sync placements or not, but there are a lot of rules and stipulations with it. Like with you got to make sure your splits are done, like your composition splits and then your master recording. You got to make sure that is done. I'm not sure if anybody up here knows about that, but you want to make sure all of that done. So if you're not with a PRO, being like BMI or CSAC or ASCAP, I definitely recommend you doing that like now. Is very important as a songwriter, even as an artist, if you plan on putting your own music out, because you want to make sure you're getting paid. If you don't have that, you won't get your publishing side of anything. So that is very important. What else would sync? No samples. They don't like samples. Um, they're hard to clear, so they want you to send a record ready. We send it, they put it on TV, movie, whatever. So no samples, no leased beats. Uh, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, if you go to Sunday School Co on Instagram or on Twitter, we have a link in our bio where you can fill out a form. It's an introduction form. And if you're interested, let us know. Put what you do. You could send links to your music, and yeah, it's just a questionnaire. It's probably about 10 to 15 questions. Um, so yeah,
Nice.
that's Sunday School. That's what we have coming with that. But yeah, I've been making music for about professionally, like take it serious, about 10 years now. Engineering has been like my main thing, but I started getting into songwriting maybe about 5, 6 years ago. Being a producer, I'm always making beats. So sometimes I'm making a beat and I'll have an idea, or if I'm working with another producer, I'll have an idea for a hook. So I'll just lay that down and things like that. Um, so for me, I'm going to talk a little bit about my writing process. I have two ways I like to write. One way is I like to start with melody because melody is king. Melody is very important. And if you have a catchy melody, you can almost say anything and it can work. There's a lot of songs we hear where they're not really saying much, but that melody is stuck in your head. So for me, I'll do a melody pass, and once I got the right melodies, I'll go back and I'll write the lyrics to those melodies. That's kind of what we did with a song that we released earlier this year called Big Joke. And I'll actually play it a little later. And I'll play you guys the reference of that I did and then the final version of the hook that I ended up doing the melody for that hook. But yeah, for me, like that's a very important aspect of my songwriting. I know some people that just can just write the song without no melody, or they're creating it as they write. And I mean, that's dope too. There's no right or wrong way with songwriting. That's the thing about it. Your process is your process. But what I've learned from, working with other people is you'll adapt and make it your own, which is the reason why collaboration is very important. And that's another thing with Sunday school. That's another reason why we created it, because a lot of people, when they move to LA, they don't have nobody. You know what I mean? There's no community. There's no, most of the people that's in these big sessions, they're already in these big sessions, and they're not really bringing people to be like, hey, look. So I created Sunday school. It's for beginners. It's for advanced artists. And you coming together, you're making a community. You're networking horizontal, which is very important. Of course, we want to get to the big ups, but you never know who's on your level that may end up being up there. So networking horizontal is very important. And then another way that I like to write is I like to just get in front of the mic and just let it out. Just start saying words, ideas, all of that. And as I'm going, because I engineer, I'm able to like comp really quick and like keep going. But versus somebody that's not really an engineer, it might take them a little longer. But I that's honestly, that's my first way I like to do. Like I feel like I make songs so much better when I'm just, it's like you're just letting it out. It's free and not really stressing yourself over the process. You're not just sitting there thinking like, okay, what rhymes with this? Like you just get straight to the point.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, those are like two ways that I love to write. Um,
So I have a question for you, school. So let's just say me, I'm an inexperienced songwriter, and I came to you and I'm like, I want to learn songwriting, and I sign up for Sunday school. What would you teach me specifically if I was a beginner and I was just starting out and I didn't really know anything? How would you help me?
if you're a beginner at Sunday school, okay, honestly, I would tell you to take your ideas, like just think of something, whether this is a good challenge that I've done before, and like people have done to me, or I'll do to others, is I'll give you like a color or something, and I'll tell you describe that color without being the obvious. Like, you know what I mean? Like if if I tell you to describe, use a color to describe like love or something, like, or your heart, just something you could be along the lines like your heart was like as warm as a sunset or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I would just tell you to describe it without actually saying what it is. And that's something Rico Love is one of my favorite songwriters, and I've met him a few times, and he's like a mentor without knowing he's a mentor to me. So and I went to a few of his camps a few years ago, and that was one thing he always said was like, tell that story without actually telling it. You know what I mean? Like, but make it also that they know it, if it makes sense. Like I have two songs I'm gonna play for you guys today. One is a full song that I wrote called Yesterday is Dark. And the way I describe yesterday being dark, I use weather terminology and also terminology as far as like what's in the past and future. And it I was surprised when I wrote this song. This was like a few years ago. I haven't put it out yet. Everybody always tell me to put it out, but
You
being an
should put
artist,
it out.
I'm thinking about putting out a project, but it was, for me, that was like one of my breaking points as being a writer, because I've always focused on engineering and production. And then, writing a record like this, I was just like, wow, like if I really like tap into what I got, I can make some dope records. And then when I started Sunday school, like I said, being around other people, it also advanced me with my writing. And also for me, like I'm one of those writers where like I'm gonna find that it line. Like that line is gonna be the one in the song that you either gonna remember or it's gonna tie everything together. Like, cause like I said, I'm always during Sunday school. Most times I'm either producing a record or focusing on engineering. But I may be like, nah, we need this one line. I'll throw it in there, and it'll tie it in there. It'll be the one. Yeah.
Nice. So like I guess, how do you know, or like where do you find like your creative process when you're songwriting? Like, is it in the studio? Is it just like you're just sitting at home and then that one line, that one hook comes to you? Or is there a
Um,
technique?
I feel like my inspiration it can come anytime, no matter where. There's been times I was driving and I saw a sign. I'm just like, oh, I can make this a song and just write a song. Conversation is very important. Most times in a session, uh, we're talking for like a good hour, just about everything. What's going on in your life? What's going on in my life? Just anything. We could be talking about something we saw on TV. There's so many things. Inspiration is everywhere. A song is in everything. Like, in all honesty, a song is in everything. Like, especially like those deep conversations. Don't don't sleep on those. Like,
Right,
always be ready to just write notes, just write ideas, just write thoughts, because you can always go back to them later. You can write stuff today, and then a month down the line, you're like, oh, I remember this line I wrote, or this idea, or this thought I had, and that could be your next single.
right. Do you have any tips on writing or collaborating with other artists, like writing a song together? What's that process like?
Yeah, I'll definitely say the vibe is important. I've been in collaborative sessions where it's real smooth, like I'm vibing with everybody. And I've been in other sessions where I'm like, this doesn't feel like my other session. It doesn't feel organic, or just the vibe feels off. And you have to pay attention to that, because that can affect your ability of writing a song. You know what I mean? You want to feel comfortable. You don't want to be on edge, or have a bunch of thoughts in your mind, or you know what I mean? Like, anything could affect your songwriting. So you want to make sure you're in the best headspace. Or well, also take that back, because there's times you could be in a bad headspace and write a terrible song. But as far as collaboration, like, it's very important to know like who you're around. That's why I said conversation is very important. I went to a session yesterday and we literally just live. I thought we was gonna work on something. Spent about 2-3 hours just playing my records, and then the songwriter I was with, she played some records, and then the other producer played records, and we just connected. And next time we go over there, I know we're gonna make some fire, because now we got a feel of each other. We're not just being music acquaintances. We're like building a relationship. So that's
Right,
very
yeah.
important. Having a relationship with your collaborators.
That is
Sorry, bro. I'm yelling this shit. No, you're good.
okay. Whoever has their Julius, do you have? I'm not sure who that was.
Yeah, I
Anyone,
don't know. That was loud.
everyone can mute their mics. Sorry about that. So what I wanted to ask, as a songwriter, and I had a couple questions about songwriting agreements. So, is there any particular moment where you have to collaborate with someone you don't know because you have a songwriting agreement?
Yes, I feel like that situation would probably more so be if you have like a publishing deal.
Hmm.
And a lot of these like artists and stuff, they have writing camps for their albums and stuff like that. So the A&Rs will get a bunch of producers, a bunch of writers. I feel like we're at a point where a lot of people in the industry do know each other, but if you get that chance of not knowing another person, you might be in a room with someone you don't know. And off of the agreement, it's kind of, if you have a publishing deal, they most times they put you in a room, they're expecting you to deliver. So
Right.
you're gonna have to deliver no matter who you're in the room with. And again, I feel like when you make that introduction, that introduction might have to be a little quicker, because you might be on a time studio session or whatever. So you gotta make that introduction, and you gotta, all right, boom, this is what we gotta do. Let's make this record.
Right, right. And also, my next question would be, um, when when you sign songwriter agreements, what is it that you look for? Like, what's a good agreement to you versus a bad agreement for the songwriters out there that are looking, to make some money out of their songs? What would you suggest for them?
I feel like the biggest thing to pay attention with the agreements is the splits. You want to make sure you're getting your fair splits on however much you wrote on that song. There's been times you might write a whole, so the way a song is broken down is 50-50. It's 50 to the producer and 50 to the songwriter. Now, if you have two writers, then you're gonna split that, accordingly to how you write that song. But if you write the hook, to me, that's half of the song. The hook is 20. You should be getting at least 25% for the hook. You know what I mean? And if you write some of the verse with that writer, then you want to figure out that percentage. Now, if y'all friends or whatever, cool, we're gonna do a 50-50 split. You know what I mean? But if it's just depending on the situation, if it's a big record, you want to make sure you're getting your fair share, and make sure nobody who isn't really involved with that record is trying to get over on you, get points, or there's sometimes when, and it gets tricky, but sometimes if you have people in the room, depending on who you are, they may give you points, they may not. But me, I'm a fair person. Like, if me and another songwriter are working and it's another person in here who is a songwriter, or they may just be learning and they're giving conversation or their ideas spark lyrics, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple points on this record. Like, if it wasn't for you being in this room, we might not have this song. So it's, you just gotta look out for, people being fair and unfair.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you, Skool. So I know you said you had some songs you wanted to share. If we can have a listen to them, and do you need to share your screen? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I need to share the screen. Or I could just share the audio too.
Let me know if it works.
Okay, so the first one I'm gonna play is the reference for Big Joke. And let me know if you guys can hear it.
You ain't innocent, boy, you ain't innocent. Know just what you do, know just what to say. Don't think that I don't know your game. Your game, it's nothing new, it's all the same. Ain't nothing changed, same. Called you 2-3 times, I called you. Called you 2-3 times, I called you. Called you.
You ain't shit though. Then I bag it inside, you don't get though. Then I don't get though. Then I
Alright, now I'm gonna play the actual song that was released. Right here.
You ain't innocent, oh, you ain't innocent. Know just what to do, know just what to say. Don't think that I don't know your game. Your game, it's nothing new, it's all the same. Ain't nothing changed, same. Call you 2-3 times, I call you. Call you 2-3 times, I call you. Reservations, they fall through. Expectations, they fall too. Fool me once, fool me twice. Won't be no third, I'm off you. A big joke, telling lies all the time. It's an issue. Ain't nothing that you did that I can't do. Didn't tell you before, but I meant to. It's official. Still ain't never done, no, you said. Still be trying to lie.
Wow,
you
that was
see,
amazing. Thank you
yeah,
for sharing that.
no problem. You see how we changed it up, like from going from the melody to her actually saying "You a big Joe." Like we, after I did that melody pass, we just came up with the lyrics, and initially the lyrics, so you kind of hear me say it, "You ain't shit though," but we wanted to change it to make sure it's more radio friendly, and then also April 1st was coming up, so it was like we could drop this on April Fool's Day. So it kind of went, it all tied in together once we got the idea and everything. So that session was actually fun. I think we got some video footage of that too, but that was a fun session to do. And that's the other thing, you want to always make sure you're having fun. Like, yeah, you want to make sure your record is amazing, and you want to take it serious, but it's also, when you have fun doing this, like, it makes it so much better. Like, it's not stressful, it doesn't feel like work, you know what I mean? So you just want to have fun and enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly. Also,
Mhm.
I noticed you said you kind of thought about the release date while writing the song. Would you recommend doing that with all of your songs? Like, keeping in mind when you want to release it and, things like that?
Yeah, I think that's important for multiple reasons. Playlisting. Um, if you have a holiday like that coming up where the song kind of fits with that idea, you can market. You can do a lot of things with marketing, which we did. Um, you want to know how much time you have to create your rollout. They say you should have a 6-month rollout. I mean, I don't feel like too many people actually follow that anymore, but it's good to just have a rollout in play. Have a video already, have a music video already, have a lyric video already, have photo shoot set up. Anything you could think of.
Awesome. So actually, I know people have a lot of questions, so we're gonna move on
Yeah, I've been
to the
seeing this a lot.
Q&A, to the Q&A portion, so we can have people uh, ask the questions that they want to ask. Let me see. Uh, Whoever wants to go first, raise your hand in the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to see it, Alexi, since you're the host.
Martin Hopeful has a question. So Martin, if you want to unmute yourself, you are welcome to, and you can ask School your question.
Sure. Thank you. So I'm gonna go back to the chat because I wanted. Okay, cool. I had 2 questions. How much of the lyrics were directed due to the release date? And also, how do you do songwriter producer deals to make it fair, like with the producers, songwriters, singers, instrumentalists, etc.?
Okay. With the song, at the time of recording, we didn't know we were going to release it on April Fools. I was driving one day, and we started that song in January, and I think I mixed it in February. And I was driving one day just listening to the song, and I was just like, April Fools. Like, it just came to me out of nowhere, and I'm just like, we're dropping this on April Fools Day. Like, it's perfect. It made so much sense. Like, any other day, it wouldn't have made sense to drop that record. So that's kind of where I got that idea to drop it on April Fools. And then the other question was about songwriter deal. Are you talking about amongst each other, or like with a label, or what with that question, the second part?
Amongst each other. Less like the label and more amongst each other.
Okay, so again, it's 50-50 on the producer writer. So as a producer, sometimes that producer may have lyrics. Like, there's like that song, for instance, I produced that song. I had a co-producer, but I also, wrote the melody. So technically I'm a songwriter and a producer, but I believe we split that down the middle. It was 4 of us. We just split everything down the middle. These are people that are, my friends, and we make a lot of music together. So it's like, cool, we could split this down the middle and we could do 4 more tracks. 4 more tracks is 100%, 25%, versus me trying to be like, oh, I did most of production. I wrote the hook. Oh, I should get 50%. I don't need to get 50% when I could do more of these records with the people I love to work with. when I have my team, my core circle. So I feel like that's that's a fair situation. In other situations where it may not be people that you're going to continuously work with, or if you did most of the work and depending on the situation, say this was going to I don't know, Tinashe or somebody, you might be like, well, damn, this might be a big, super big record. I don't want to get robbed, or maybe it's two ways you could play. You could say, hey, I don't want to get robbed, I want to get everything, or I'm gonna still do an even split. And depending on who I work with on this record, they may put me in for another record. So that's kind of how you got to play the game in the industry. You kind of got to think, okay, if I take this a certain way, I can get another opportunities with these people, and get 2 records with Tinashe, or do this record with Tinashe, and they might put me in for a record with Beyonce or somebody. You know what I mean? So there are different things you got to think about in this industry when you're working on records.
Martin, does that answer your question? I think so.
Yeah, he said.
Yes, it does. Thank
Cool.
you.
Cool.
Thank you so much, man. Sorry.
No problem.
Cool. All right. Marcos, I see you have a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thanks, Marcos.
Hey, School, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
So my question is not really about like songwriting in particular, but I know you got like your hands in a lot of stuff for like production and songwriting, and you got the songwriting camps. So I was wondering like if you have a manager that you're working with to help you like organize all these different projects you have going on, or like how you manage your time between like the technical stuff, the creative stuff, the administrative stuff. Because like that's a lot of stuff, and I've been trying to do it myself, and it's difficult sometimes.
Man, bro, I've been like this for years. I don't have a manager. Part of me wants a manager, but also part of me is like, if I can do it on my own, then I'm gonna do it that way as long as I can. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's sometimes it's hard because you wanna find that medium. Okay, it's like I need to get in more rooms, I need to do this and that, and a manager might be able to help with that. But also networking can help with that too. But right now it's definitely hard to do a lot of networking because everything is closed. But man, I don't know I don't know how I do it, honestly. I'm literally like I'm mixing every day, and then I'm working on production, or some days I'll set certain days or certain times to do everything. Making a schedule is very important. It does help. Like for me, with mixing, I like to mix in the morning when I have fresh airs, because by the end of the day, I've probably worked on production, or I've probably listened to music all day, or I might have done a recording session. I don't like to mix after recording sessions because your ears get fatigued just like anything else. So I try to honestly, after this call I might be working on a mix and then doing the rest of my day. So I feel like making that schedule and knowing what works best for you is important.
Thanks.
No problem.
Cool. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
With your scheduling, what days how do you schedule everything out? So are you usually recording everything on one day, and then you move on to mixing everything in one day, and then another day you take care of all of your administrative stuff? Like, what does your week look like?
So when somebody sends me a request for mixing, most times I don't start it that day they send me because I'm already working on other things. So I'll probably start, like, if you send me something to mix, I'll probably start it maybe 3 to 4 days after you send it, just because I know I already have stuff lined up. My recording sessions, that's a little different because I never know when somebody's going to call me for a recording session. Like last Friday, I was in a session, and then I got called for a session to do with Taylor Park. She's a songwriter, works with Ariana. And it was just like on the fly. Like they called me like, hey, School, you available today? Like in 2 hours. I'm like, I'm finishing the session right now, but I can get there as soon as I can. So it's kind of with that aspect, I always say being an engineer is kind of like being a surgeon. Like you never know when you're going to get a call to go into a session. So that aspect, I just wing it sometimes. And I think I did I had a production session scheduled that day, but I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity of working with Taylor and getting in there because she's looking to have someone on her team as a head engineer. So, you know, I was like, hey, I got to take this opportunity. So yeah, and then as far as like my administration work, I normally do that at night. Like before I go to bed, I'll send out emails. I'll, you know, when I'm releasing songs, I'll do all the back end stuff, which I can also talk to you guys about that. When you're like registering with your PRO, making sure you're registered with Song Trust. They're a publishing administration, so they admin your publishing. Sound exchange, you want to make sure you have that done. Harry Fox, I'm doing sound scan, media base, playlist, and this is all. Every time I release a song, that's at least 7 things that I do. So I'm mixing, I produce it. I'm probably helping the artist with fine graphics, and then doing all that on the admin side. So actually, I might need a manager.
Cool. Marcos, does that answer your question? Or does that help a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Cool. All right, GK, I see you have a question. Go for it.
Okay, hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Perfect. So I was wondering, Skool, you had mentioned, and by the way, thank you for making yourself available to the Zoom, the meeting.
No problem.
So you had mentioned typically you're doing a 50-50 writer-producer split. Is that when you guys are coming up with the idea and putting the song together from scratch? And that's at least my understanding. And what happens if you have a song that you already have and you just need it produced and get some more instrumentation? What's your view on that? Do you do a instead of offering or doing a some type of a equity split? How would you go about doing a God, what's it called?
A work for hire?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not a morning person. So.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So the first question, yes, most time I'll use Sunday school for instance. With Sunday school, when we link up, like I said, most time we have a conversation. You know, haven't seen everybody in, you know, however long a week or maybe longer, depending on who's there. And then, you know, based on the conversation, sometimes I'll just start playing the keys, coming up with ideas. The writers will start thinking of stuff, and then they'll do a melody pass. So yeah, we're creating them records from scratch. I prefer to create that way. I get a better vibe. I can email you tracks till I'm blue in the face, but if I don't know how you feeling that day, it's not that those tracks are bad. You just might be feeling red, and I'm sending you all tracks that are blue. You know what I mean? So I get a better vibe of when I'm in person or even on a Zoom call. I can create from scratch. You know what I mean? So I love to create from scratch. We do, you know, the splits based on how that song is being created at that point in time. So if I may have a co-producer, so then we're splitting that 50% into 25 each, or, you know, depending on how much each do, or again, if these are people that you always work with, hey, you added some drums, you added this, cool, I got you. And then the other question was about work for hire. So if you have a track that I guess you're saying is you already have some stuff, you have lyrics, you have some instrumentation on it, you just want it fully produced. So yeah, there's 2 ways you could go about it. You can do a work for hire, and that price is probably going to be based on whoever the person you're working with and what you want them to do. So if you want them to just put some keys on it, they may have an hourly rate for a work for hire, or they may have a flat fee. And then you have some producers that may have a fee plus a smaller percentage, which is normally how it goes with in the industry anyway. So like if you produce a record for somebody, the label may pay you 10,000 up front and then give you anywhere from 3 to 5 points on that record as far as the master side. But the publishing, you still should be getting, you know, your correct splits on the writer publishing side. So I think it'll depend on who you're working with, or if it's you, if you're the one that's being hired, it'll all be based on what you want. Because if they want you, then they should be able to pay you for what you want or give you whatever royalties that you want.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I have a question as well. I raised that, but I don't know if it appeared.
Francisca, I can see. I was actually going to I told someone else I was going to jump to them.
Oh,
really
no,
quickly.
no worries.
But I'll get to you next. Don't worry.
Okay.
Anthony, I am going to go ahead and pick on you. So you're up.
Hi, yeah, I'm Anthony, Alexi's brother. Thank you for your time, and it's probably like a really simple question, but it's more like, how do you deal with, you know, creative block when you're not really liking anything you're coming up with, or it's really repetitive, you know, like you're really stuck in like one vibe and you're trying to get to the next idea. How do you switch it up?
Is this as far as a songwriter or a producer?
Songwriting.
Okay. For me, I feel like there's no wrong idea. So if you feel that you're in a block and like you're not liking what you're writing, just keep writing. You got to get it out. No matter how good it is, how bad it is, get it out, because that may clear it up for you. That may free your mind, and you never know. You may come back to that and be like, okay, I can change this into another idea, or another person may hear it and it may give them inspiration. So don't ever look at anything as being bad or terrible, as a terrible idea or anything like that. It just may not be for you, or it may not be for that particular time period. And then sometimes you just got to take a break. Like, I know as creatives, we always feel like we got to keep going, we got to keep working. No, take a break, because you're going to burn yourself out. And I've been focusing more on production and songwriting, because engineering, I kind of burnt myself out with that. I really only like mixing right now. I don't really like tracking so much, because I owned a studio for 7 years and working every day. Like, I'm well past my 10,000 hours. So, you know, doing that kind of burnt me out. And I love engineering, you know what I mean? But because I didn't take enough breaks, I'm kind of just like burnt out from it in a sense. But I'm gonna keep going. You know, it's my breadwinner at that too. So, but yeah, like, definitely take breaks. Get around other people. I know it's hard right now, but you know, being around the right creatives, the right people, and the right energy can definitely affect, you know, your creativity.
And call your sister.
That too. I call my family all the time.
Cool. That's good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. All right, Francisca, you're up.
Okay. Hi, thank you so much for the time, for the opportunity to ask this question. Yeah, I was more interested. This is more about like the release, because you were talking about release, like the 7 things that you actually absolutely have to do when you're going to release a song. So can you repeat that, or elaborate a bit more on like what would be the top things that you have to do in order to try to get a successful release and get people listening to what you have created?
Okay, so on the back end, when you release a song, there's a few things you want to do. You want to make sure you get these done. So if that song does happen to take off, you want to make sure you're getting paid for it. Or if you get a situation with a sync or TV placement, you want to make sure all your paperwork is done. So you want to make sure you have your composition splits done, meaning between you, the songwriter, the artist, and the producer, whoever the creatives that were involved. You want to get a master clearance, basically stating that either whoever has the master clearance can control what's being done with that record. So for sync purposes with Sunday School, we're going to get the master clearance. Now, that doesn't mean we own the masters. You still should have a split sheet on masters of who owns what percentage of the master, the copyright. The master clearance will be, so when we create these records, we can send them off to the sync supervisors. You want to make sure you do, I said the PRO, no, you want to make sure you do your PRO, your either BMI or ASCAP. You want to make sure you get that done. What else is there?
I'm sorry, what is that? The PSPC? I'm sorry.
PRO.
Yeah.
So that's your performance rights organization. So when a
Okay.
song gets played on radio or anything like that, that's where your performance royalties go. So you get paid through them, and they pay I think 3 times a year or 4 times a year. They pay every quarter, but they pay based on the back quarter. So I think we are in the 4th quarter, so you will be getting paid for, I think, 1st quarter this year. But this year it's been a little weird because of COVID.
But does that work only in the US? Because I'm not from the US, or is that like worldwide?
So different areas. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Ecuador, South America. So yeah, and I'm
I'm not sure what the PRO would be down there, but every region has their own PRO. Like I know Canada is called SOCAN.
Okay.
I forget what France is called. So like you just have to look into it and see what your region is.
Okay.
So yeah, actually a lot of the things here may be a little different. I don't know if SoundScan is international. What else did I say? Harry Fox agency.
What about in England, in London? Like, do you know?
London, I'm not sure what their PRO is either.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, Francisca,
Yeah,
sorry, School. I was just gonna add in, there are a bunch of different ones for each country.
Mm-hmm.
So for whatever country you're in, because I know we have a few international folks on here, you just have to go and Google whichever PRO works for you.
Yeah.
And I believe Song Trust, they're a publishing admin, and I believe they help with that.
Oh, okay.
And then you can also follow me on Instagram too, and if I find any information, I'll share it with you.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Cool. School, I have things to have on the back end for releasing your music. And you said PRO, composition splits, master clearance, registering for the Harry Fox agency. Anything else that you want to throw in there?
Song Trust for pub admin if you don't have one. Sound Exchange, they actually pay you off of the master copyright, I believe. And what else? I'm trying to think of everything I do.
Like
media based.
Marketing based.
Marketing wise, one platform I use for playlisting is called submithub.com. And they're great for, they have all types of playlists, international, national, anything you think of, all genres. And then with Spotify, a lot of people don't know this. If you submit your song through your distribution, at least I think 3 to 4 weeks early, you could submit for official Spotify playlist. And with that, you pitch the song to them, and they listen to it. They decide where they're gonna put it, and all those things. And it works. Like I see people getting their songs playlisted all the time and these are people that, maybe just starting or, haven't really don't really have a big buzz. So if your music is great, they're gonna playlist it. You want to try to find music curators, and you could Google that or look on Instagram. We pretty much have, with our phones, we pretty much have everything we need, honestly.
True.
Cool. Francisca, does that give you a brief overview?
Yeah, I mean, there's like so much to do. So, marketing wise, I know like it's the lyric video and stuff. It's just that I'm
the lyric video.
Yeah, and okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Francisca,
thank you.
we'll also be doing a release marketing event within the next month or so. So look out for
Oh,
that.
great.
That'll help.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. All right. And then I see Stoneham. Nick, if you want to ask your question, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Nick, do we still have you? No? Okay. Martin, you had another question?
Yeah, I do. Thank you for all of this. This is really great information. And so my question is, do you use third-party companies like TuneCore, CD Baby, et cetera, et cetera? If
Yes.
so, which ones do you use? And yeah.
I use at the moment I use DistroKid. One of the main reasons why I like using distro is because the split on the master and the recording side, I can split those with whoever's involved. And I don't know, I just like the features on DistroKid. They're always growing, but I do plan on making my own distribution company. I have a friend that recently did it, and I've been in touch with them about that. I used TuneCore at one point. TuneCore is cool. I just feel like they charge pretty much for like every single thing on TuneCore, so that's one of the reasons why I don't use.
I hate TuneCore.
Yeah, they charge you for the release, and they want to charge you for the store, and they want to charge you for every single thing. It's just like, all right, cool. But I know they do have a pub admin, which Distro doesn't. DistroKid doesn't have a pub admin, but TuneCore does. I heard good things about United Masters. I know they actually help with pitching songs. I know some people that got their songs on NBA 2K and just like TV commercials and things like that from United Masters. So that's one to look into.
All right. Thank you. That definitely answers my question.
You're welcome.
Cool. Thanks, Martin. And then two more questions. I have one from Julius. So Julius, you can go ahead and mute yourself.
Hey, what's up? What's up? My bad for earlier with all the wind. I'm driving to work. Appreciate your time. So just like you, like I write, I produce, I engineer all my stuff, mix and master, do all like the marketing stuff. Like when you start feeling burnt out, what do you kind of do to get out of that funk? Because I know I just started going back to work out here in the Bay, and it's like it's draining. So I was just wondering, what do you do to kind of just get back into, you know, the motion of just working on stuff and being motivated, inspired?
Well, like I said earlier, taking that self-care, that's very important. You know, take those breaks, and you know, if you gotta like refine yourself, man, do it. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, this year it's been rough for me. Like I've had my ups and downs, but I know where I was at a point when I was at my lowest, and I never want to go there. So I always use that to motivate myself to make sure I stay above there, no matter how I feel. If I'm feeling down, hey, go on a walk, go, call somebody, like whatever you have to do, just make sure you stay uplifted, and you gotta know yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta know, okay, this isn't good. Like if you know that you want to work on something, but you're just like, nah, I'm just gonna like lay here, I'm just gonna watch TV or things like that. Like take those as signs of I'm feeling down and I gotta boost myself back up. And sometimes just getting in front of the computer and working on something, you know what I mean? Or listening to something that somebody else created, that could inspire you off of that. You know what I mean? I have a lot of friends in the music industry, and I'm always seeing dope stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it's dope. I gotta work on something today. You know what I mean? So, you gotta know where your inspiration comes from.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just know like there's times where I'll take like a huge like break, and then out of nowhere it'll just like boom, I'll knock out like 6 songs. I'll make the beat, and as I'm making the beat, I'll write the hook while I'm making the beat, and then I'm just in there recording because I got everything all there. But then there'll be times where it's just like I'm in a slump, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything, and I just want to chill.
Yeah, no, I get that totally 100%, man. And
So
you know, it's okay.
can I add something there too?
Yes.
Um, and also remember, you guys are in music, and music is such a healing and powerful thing. If
So,
you are constantly getting fatigued from it, it's okay to take a break, but you can listen, yeah, like School was saying, you can listen to other people's music, you can sing, you can go use music to go dance, go do something that makes you feel good about the music again. Because even for School, I'm sure you get this a lot too, but when you're in the music industry, you're constantly getting sent music, and it's like you'll sit there for hours listening and listening and listening, and after listening to a few hours, it's like, okay, I can't listen to music anymore. And then sometimes you go back and it's like, oh, I feel good, I want to listen to music again. And so it comes in waves, and when you're feeling good and when you're feeling bad, that's life. So
yeah.
sometimes it's just remembering that you can use music as a healing process. Like turn off the trap music sometimes, or turn it back on, whatever it is. You have to find some joy in what you're doing too. And if you're not finding
Yeah.
joy in that, do something else.
Yeah, I definitely say with that, like listen to some older music, you know what I mean? Like listen to jazz, listen to some old R&B, listen to, those classic records, because those will definitely spark ideas. Like you'll get a lot of ideas from that. That's what a lot of the music we hear, like, there's a lot of music with samples, there's this and that, like that inspiration is there. We just have to tap into it. Like I have a vinyl collection, and I went home recently and I brought some of it back, and I gotta go get a record player, because I'm just like, I'm ready to listen and tap into this music. And I found one of my favorite jazz. I didn't think I was gonna find it, because my crates is just crazy. They aren't organized, and it was like one of the first records I found. So that just like that was lit for me.
Cool. And hang out with Finesse Media people, because there's always
There you go.
inspiration there. Cool. I see GK has a question, and then Marcos, I know you have a question, but we're kind of running into the time for moving into the listening session. So if anyone has additional questions that we can answer for you on the chat, feel free to put them in the chat box. And then GK, I'm going to let you go, and then we'll move on to our listening session. Oh, GK, you're on mute.
How about now?
Yep, you're good.
Great, cool. So I was just wondering what School, what your thoughts are on BMI versus ASCAP for PRO.
I am with BMI, and I am actually trying to leave BMI. Reason being is that I haven't been able to have great communication with BMI. It's very hard to get in touch with them versus ASCAP. I know people with ASCAP, and ASCAP will respond to you right away. ASCAP always having events. You would think I was with them as many events, their events that I've been to. As far as paying out, I've never really had an issue with BMI. Like I received checks for a few of the records I've worked on. And I also know people at ASCAP who haven't had issues. And then you have CSAC, which is, of course, invite only. They are a great company as well. I know a few people with them, and actually I got a chance to meet with them a few times. They've been wanting me to join, but being with BMI, I can't be with both as a writer. But I think if once I get out of BMI, it's either going to be ASCAP, or if I still have that opportunity to join CSAC, I will be joining CSAC.
Great, thank you.
I think I would say don't just take my word on it though. Do also, look into it, do some research, talk to multiple people, and just make your judgment off of that. With BMI, they are free to sign up with as a songwriter, but for your publishing side, it's $150 for sole proprietor, and then $250 as a business. And then ASCAP is $50 to sign up as a writer, and then $50 to sign up as a publisher.
And what if you're so is that 100 if you're you do your own publishing as well as the writing?
Yeah.
You're going to charge 50 plus 50. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
And you can have a publishing account with both BMI and ASCAP. But you can only have one writer's account. The reason why you have two publishers is because say say you're BMI, but you're putting a record out that maybe you didn't write on, but you might be helping with the publishing on that, and they're all ASCAP. That's why you want to have an ASCAP publishing account.
Cool. Does that answer your question, GK?
Oh yeah, thanks.
All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and move into our listening session. So school has agreed to listen to some of your folks' music. So folks that submitted some stuff will get a chance to get it reviewed. This is a really cool time for us because every week that we do these listening sessions, we're introduced to new music. You also gain a few new fans if your music's good. Hopefully it is. And then you'll also just get a chance to network and meet some new people. So before we move into that, school, I just want to ask you, do you have any 3 big pieces of advice that you could give to songwriters before we move into the listening session?
Big pieces of advice. All right.
Or just one is okay.
No idea is wrong. Like, write whatever comes to mind and build off of that. Your creativity is your creativity is your creativity. It's your art. Don't look at other people and say, oh damn, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. You're gonna do what you're meant to do. And as you know, being that great songwriter as you are, or producer, or whatever it is, like just keep going, hone in on your skills. I've been making music for over 10 years, and I didn't really find my sound until maybe about 5-6 years in. You know what I mean? And once I found that sound, I just continued to grow. So like, don't give up. You know, always keep going. Always keep writing. Always keep producing. Always keep believing in your craft, and it will take off. It'll go to where you want it to go.
Cool. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into the listening session. So Bhavin is actually going to take the reins on this. So Bhavin, let me see if I can find you. Do I still have you?
Me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
School, I think you have to stop sharing so that I can.
I forgot I was sharing.
All good.
All right. So these folks that we'll be listening to all submitted their music to us prior to the event. So we've gotten a chance to review some of it. And school will just be providing some feedback on the folks that submitted.
So the first song is Vivid by PJE.
No one else is stopping me, you were wrong possibly. Don't care about your policy, going off constantly. I'm saying just honestly, it's saying flame to the game. Don't disrespect my name, your talk that's a false claim. On top of the food chain, I'm the one not to blame. Ultimate flow, I feel infinite, no ghost is a trippy. I'm showing everyone that I'm gifted. Young God, your mind is twisted. Now I'm on the good path shifted. No paper copy, I can't be printed. Someday I'll say that I did it. The picture in my mind is vivid. Ran away from the system, don't wanna be in prison. Life is taken and given, coke you was sniffing. Don't know what you're best in. You know I don't need a test then. I'm just best dressed in my music like an artifact. The way my art attack, I just sit back, spinning like a track. I break my back just to prove that you're whack. You was just on crack.
So that was, you said PJ?
PJE, yeah.
I don't know if he's in here. But my thing with that record, for me, I would say the delivery. I know we're here for songwriting, but it was kind of hard for me to kind of focus on the songwriting just because of the delivery. So I would say, you know, definitely work on the delivery of the flow. And yeah, I think that was my biggest thing on that record. But it felt like it did have a cool vibe though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
Mhm.
Janice, I believe. Let me share my screen.
Janice, are you here? Robin, I'm not sure if Janice is on actually.
Cool.
I don't see that name either.
Sebastian, are you here?
Wait, Luna. Yeah.
Sebastian was here earlier.
Yeah, I saw Sebastian earlier too.
I go by Luna. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's good.
Cool.
Do you have a song that you would prefer for us to play?
What's up, Luna?
High school. I mean, the thing is, I haven't heard from you direct because school you mixed. I sent Sunshine. I haven't released it though. I just wanted to know, like, I didn't know if you wanted to listen to that again. I mean,
it's up to you. You can, if you want them to hear, or if you want me to hear something that you haven't released.
I kind of want to. I'm gonna do that then. Do that one. Yeah, the first one.
All right.
Baby boy, good thing clever, they ain't no gun. It's okay, feel your soul, let them tears run. Baby boy, think I never go and have you by. Going, baby boy, good thing clever, they ain't no gun. Going, it's okay, feel your soul, let them tears run. Going, baby boy, think I never go and have you by. All I can say is you should be proud of us. She, her, they, damn bitch, you are the universe. Went from following Instagram pages of iconic nails for the ages, then blocking them from your feed. Thinking the devil was planting a seed. Scared to play with the bread stem. Can I play axe? Go on, ask them. Grow your hair, embrace your curls and your brown skin. Pick your hair to the heavens. Thinking you acting a fool, just discovering something new. But baby, you were born this way. Get made up, go put on that war paint. Ooh, yeah. Don't worry, your instincts don't lie. Chin up, head high, let your feet fly. Baby boy, good and clever, they ain't no gun. It's okay, feel your soul, let them tears run. Baby boy, think I never go and have you by. Baby boy.
I'm only gonna play like a minute and a half of everything. So that was Luna with Baby Boy Unfinished.
Cool. So yeah, I like the vibe and I like that beat. I think you the lyrics wise, you said what you were trying to say. You know what I mean? You got the story across, and telling that story is very important with songwriting. You want to tell that song is 3 minutes. So when you have a track that's 3 minutes, you want to be able to tell your story in that 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that's big. Like I feel like us as songwriters, like we have more of a challenge than somebody that's writing a movie because we have less time to really say what we want to say. So you gotta figure out how to get all these points across in 3 minutes. And I feel like you said what you were trying to say in that song.
Cool.
And I love harmonies, so you did your thing on the harmonies.
Yeah, Luna, I like the harmony too.
Thank you.
It's like, baby boy, na, 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 na.
Yeah, again, the melody is king. Very catchy melody.
Thank you.
Cool. Bobbin. I don't think Lottie's here. Do we have more? Oh, cool.
Lottie.
Do we still have Jay on? Jay, are you still here? Jay Green?
So,
All right, I see him.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool, cool, cool.
Just a beat.
So I'm me as a producer, I'm big on drums, and I like the drum pattern you did on that a lot. It was moving, it had a good bounce to it. Sonically, as far as the sounds of like the pads and stuff, they weren't really my favorite, but I do like the vibe of the track. But I think sonically, maybe you could keep the chords, but maybe just use different sounds. You know, just from what I hear of it. But again, somebody else may hear it and be like, "Hey, I like it as it." You know what I mean? But I do like your drums. You got some good drums.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I know Jay was looking to collab with some artists. We spoke earlier, so connect with Jay. Anybody
Yes,
who likes the beat?
Please.
Cool. Next we have Josh Green. Are you here? I don't think I see Josh in the crowd. All right, so then we can move on to Elsie, Miss Lily Chen.
I tried playing with fire. Going up in smoke, I felt so alive. We weren't meant to go higher, but I was down for the ride. Should've known by then we'd go too far. When we got too close, it fell apart. Jumping the gun, chasing the sun, crashed on the run. You got my head high, you had me from the start. I'll be your Icarus. Defeated by the odds, but we were like Greek gods. I'll be
That's a big record. Who's that?
That was Lily, Elsie.
Hey.
That record that's a dope song.
Thanks.
Did you produce it as well, or you just wrote it, or what's the backstory on that?
Yeah, so actually I wrote that. There's a couple co-writers on that as well. So that was yeah, I wrote that actually like a couple years ago at this point, which is crazy. But yeah, so I there was one other co-writer and then producer as well as a co-writer.
And that was you singing?
Yeah. That was me on the vocals.
Yeah, no, that's a dope song. I vibe with that a lot. That's kind of more so like the type of music like I personally like to make. So yeah.
Yeah, we gotta work.
Definitely follow me on Instagram and we'll definitely make some things happen.
For sure.
And that's a good song that I feel like could get synced like on TV or film. I'm not sure if you sent that out, but I would definitely say reach out to some music supervisors, or once we get everything rolling with Sunday School, you can hit us up and we could try to help you get that placed.
That's awesome. Yeah. That song is actually unreleased right now and it's still a demo. So if you want to mix it.
Okay, hit me up.
Yeah, but the producer as well, he's actually in Sweden. And we did that song a couple years ago, and I think as a concept, so I have another song that's I did like a Greek mythology concept. So I just need to like get the other songs together. So that's like a future project. But yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, I like the lyrics on that a lot. I was almost like visualizing it.
Thank you.
Lily always makes really good music, and she just released an album, everybody.
Not yet. It's coming.
Oh, okay. Coming out.
But yes, I will. Thank you. Yeah, it's coming out December, so I will be sending the pre-save links out at some point.
Cool. All right, and then Dee, I think you said that you wanted to perform live. We're ready for you.
Yeah. This will be my first time, so don't laugh at me, all right?
Yeah, this is Dee's first time performing. She's been on almost all of our events for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I'm fresh. I'm fresh out the barnyard, so this is new to me. But anyway, I just came up with this melody the other day, and I just decided to write to it. So let me play it in my ear right quick. I'm making my shine on this world. I'm making my shine on this world. I'm making my shine on this world. I'm not an ordinary girl. If it's not broke, then don't try to fix it. If you're not with my music, then don't try to mix it. I'm different. I'm not like the rest of them. I fit in the bracket like the best of them. They don't call me D for nothing. The D stands for determination. That means I stand for something. I'm number one. I'm the number one contender. When I came out the womb, I was already labeled as a winner. Get to know who I am. Don't worry about my outer exterior. Just because I'm a lesbian, that doesn't mean I'm inferior. I'm making my mark on this world. I'm making my shine on this world. I'm making my shine on this world. I'm not an ordinary girl.
I like that.
Thank you.
I think records that are like uplifting and inspirational are always great. People always need it. So I think that's a dope record. I think you should finish that and like record it, make it a thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
That's something that somebody needs to hear.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
You're welcome, for real.
Thank you.
Woo, go D. We love you, D.
Thank you. I love y'all too. I love y'all. Y'all a great company. I appreciate y'all even welcoming me and giving me a opportunity. You see, I'm shaking, so I'm glad I actually went through it.
Nice. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, Charlie sent in another song. So Bhavin, can you share your screen again? I think she just sent something into info@finessed.media. You see anything? No? Charlie, do we still have you? Charlie.
Yeah, I'm here. Check now.
All right. Bhavin, are you seeing it on your end? No. Charlie, what song are you playing? Is it you on the track?
I
it. Lex, no.
Charlie is an artist manager.
You are funny. Y'all still don't got it. I sent one last night too.
Oh, we got
there
it.
you go.
We
No,
got
we
it.
got it.
Promise I'm not stealing anything.
I've been out here in the streets all alone, yeah. And I know you're tired of sleeping all alone. You know that your pillow's soaking wet, and I can't change the things I did. Oh, no. How many times will I make excuses? Saying I was recording, but there wasn't no music. I played the game, I did. Switched up the pace, I did. Out here playing games, should've been making plays for you. For you, 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 oh, yeah.
That's actually it for this one.
And I think she said that that's it for now. Cool.
It's a dope record. Who's the artist?
That his name is Jaquan McCoy. We also, are mentees of Rico Love. We've been to every music conference, so we definitely take advantage of his words and his guidance. So for sure.
That name sounds familiar.
He's from CT too.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Jaquan McCoy.
Yeah. Is he from New Haven? Where's he from? In Connecticut?
Yep, New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, no, that's a dope record.
For sure, thank you.
Yeah. Now keep going. Make sure y'all hit me up. Definitely reach out. But I got some right there.
For sure, thank you. I got you.
Charlie, can you also put his links in the chat box?
Yeah, I'll drop it right now.
And then for anyone else that would like to share music, we're out of time for today, but every week we usually try to do a listening session. So you can always send it in to us. You have to submit or you have to pay for a submission review ticket just so that we have the time to actually do it for you, or you have to be a second tier member for our membership program, which we'll leave in the chat box. But we love listening to your guys' music. And so we always try to support. And when we see you post up, actually, since we're here, I'll make this announcement now. We originally moved Finessed Media's music section to another page, to Finessed Music, and we were going to start a subsidiary for that. But because our page has just become business and we miss the creative side of the music, we're going to remerge those. So if you want to continue sending music into us to potentially get featured or to get your music heard by us for an interview or anything like that, then you can always send to info@finessed.media. And I'll leave that in the chat for you guys. Anyway, how'd you guys like the music today? Good? Throw a thumbs up if you liked it.
Yeah. Got some dope vibes. Got some dope people up here.
Yeah, we are very, very grateful for all of you. So just to finish off, first of all, Justine, thank you for putting this together. And secondly, Skool, You are so dope. You're such a great mixer, master, sound engineer, producer, multifaceted songwriter, singer, etc. I'm constantly in your lives like, "Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good." And then thank you to everybody who joined in today. So again, the purpose of today was really to give you all some insight into Skool's songwriting process and to give you some additional advice and help in creating your music, as well as figuring out some of the business aspects of songwriting. So hopefully you all found this helpful. Raise the roof if you found Skool's advice helpful today.
Feel free to reach out to me all the time. MixedbySkool on every social media.
Cool. And Skool again does Sunday school every weekend. So just make sure to tap in. Also, I love your t-shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wore.
That's so cool.
The merch will be dropping very soon.
Nice. All right. Well, that is all we have for you this week. If you all haven't signed up for the membership program, it's $5 a month. So if you come to our events regularly, then I would strongly suggest signing up for the membership program because it's just $5 a month for you to attend the events on a weekly basis. And it's cheaper. If you're constantly coming to the events, you might as well pay for the $5 a month one instead of paying $5 each time. We also have a second tier membership, which is you get one-on-one consultations quarterly. You can attend all of the events for free, excluding music summits, which are discounted for you. You also get exclusive wellness opportunities and access to community classes, which will be starting up in the next month. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. You can sign up for the membership on the right-hand side. We've also got a contact list going on in the chat box if you want to put your information there, and we'll be posting that up on our membership platform, which if you haven't seen is actually pretty cool because it's like Facebook, but for music artists, Facebook groups for music artists and managers, producers, etc. We have a really large network and we're very lucky to have everybody. Some of the folks that are already signed up are Lily, we have GK, Charlie's a member, Tiffany, Dee is also a member, Bobbin. And so if any of you would like to join in, we'd love to have you. Oh, we also have Julius, who's also one of our members.
Lex, can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Also, if you guys let us know what you're interested in. At the end of the day, we're doing this for you to help you guys out. So send us some ideas. I put this together because you guys told me this is what you guys wanted, and we will have more of these songwriting workshops in the future. So just shoot me a DM. My Instagram is Justine_Sade, so you can DM me or you can just DM us at finessed.media. So just let me know what you guys want and we will try our best to give it to you.
Cool. All right, everybody. We love you guys. Hopefully you took some really good information out of this. And next weekend, we're having a Women of Color in Music celebration. So for folks that would like to join in on that, you are more than welcome. The weekend after that, we're doing a publishing event with DJ Chase, who runs his own publishing house. And then the weekend after that, we're actually having a music summit with a bunch of cool speakers that we'll be announcing fairly soon. So we hope to see you all soon. Any last minute questions or anything that anyone wants to say before we head out? Okay, cool.
I just want to say thank you. And thank you, Skool. Thank you, Finessed Media. Everybody, y'all need to join. If you haven't joined, man, it's the place to be right here. You heard?
Thanks, Dee. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Skool. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
God bless.